Welcome everybody to this demonstration of Worsfold Software's Gateway Management Package. We'll go in through the desktop shortcut, entry code and password, which takes you to the main screen. The package is student-based, of course, so let's go into Students. This brings up the main student screen. On the left is a blue student selector, and we're clicking on that shows that those students who are currently taking Gateway. We'll click on our first student and we can see the student's information. If we wish to add a new student, then this is also done through the student selector. If you're using Kmart, then you click on the Kmart button. If you're using Music, it will be the Music button. Clicking on that lists all the students currently in Kmart, and let's select a particular student. Let's say Matthew. And Matthew's information is brought through from Kmart. But let's go back to Gateway and to the first student. This shows the student's placements and courses. He's taking one placement and two courses. Across the top we have a number of tabs, and let's go to the Placements tab, and we can select that particular placement and see all of its information. The contact details. In this area, we can display the costs associated with this placement, any transport details, outcome and withdrawn details, any notes, any comments, and TEC report information. Many schools don't use the costs sections, but others do choose to keep a full track of the students' costs associated with each placement and their courses. Down the bottom are the standards attached to this placement and their results. Having a look at the second tab for courses, the student is taking two courses, this one, and once again selecting a particular course, its details come up, the costs and the standards and any other assessments taken by the student for this course. Now, to add a new placement, you simply click on the Add a New Placement button and add it. To add a new course, you select from your list of courses, and we'll come back to that list of courses shortly. The Achievements tab summarizes the student's achievements. The Costs summarizes their costs. Pathways shows the various pathways attached to these standards and the overall resulting chart. There is an explanation view, which you can see, which explains how that chart works. We have a tab for any notes and loaned items, contacts and medical details. If you wish to send them an email, just click on the email button and that will take you through to your email client. We can add a new student manually if you're not using Kmart or Music. We can delete a student. We can do a quick search for a student. Let's say I want a student whose surname is Thomas. Search for a student, TH, and there's Rowena. Click on her and there's her information. Right, let's look briefly at configuration, where we can set up the users of the package. We can look at our SMS package links. We're using Kmart. You could use Music's The Edge or the old Classroom Manager, or neither of these. Default settings relate to your school's MOE number, unit standards, gateway program number, various other basic details, photographs, links, internal emails. You can click on email settings to set up default global email settings for global emails to students. Under the pop-ups button, you can edit your courses, your employers, your employer categories, your providers, assessors, doctors, emergency relationships, and any transport details. Some schools do manage their income and expenditure of Gateway through this area. These are the income details, which you can enter in. Overhead expenditures under the various categories. Click in an area and the summary will pop up and you can add or alter existing entries. Student expenditure. bulk transport costs, for example, and an income and expenditure summary. This will summarize the income and expenditure. Okay, moving on to printing facilities. Large number of pre-designed lists and documents. Individual student forms, placement course summaries, cost summaries, achievement summaries. For example, a placement course summary for that particular student, you can multiple select, generate the document, and there it is. And you can scan through it and print it and save it as a PDF file, email it as a PDF file. Pre-designed lists, there are a large number of them, and if you click on each one, as you click on each one, you get an example of what it will look like down at the bottom of the screen. There's a large list of possible lists. The old TEC return, you'll recognize that. Document design, you can design your own documents using this area, and then you can print these documents. So for example, if we do a learning sample plan for this student, generate the document. User-defined lists, you can make up your own lists. So if we start a new list, as an example, this list will be student-based, and we'll put in the family name and their year, their postcode, their driver's license, and total costs. And now we'll generate that list, and there's an example of a list. Full cost analysis. There's an example of the full cost analysis. There's not a lot of information in there. The 3-month student outcome is also there, as are vocational pathways, and you can email documents. Under utilities, you have an end-of-year process which generates an empty database for the following year. You can send emails, you can make a backup of your database, you can export data. The standards are released, the latest file of standards is released by NZQA each month, and this process will automatically bring those standards into the package. KMAR provides an export facility, as does MUSAC, which generates a file of student information. And once that is brought in to the folder for the package, you can then update students' details and their results. An audit trail is maintained of who has done what. You can do a search for particular employers over particular years, compact and repair the database. At the bottom of the utilities are 2 very important buttons relating to the TEC exports. Let's demonstrate the first one, the placements export. We'll go in and prepare the student's data, and this will list any errors found, which you can then print if you wish to prior to repairing them. But regardless of that, we're now ready to paste into the spreadsheet. So returning to our desktop, we'll open the Gateway spreadsheet, go to the Report tab, and right-click and paste, and there's all the information all ready to go to TEC, completely filled in. Save it and send it. A similar process works for the results export. The package comes with 40 little training videos, which are on YouTube, and these will demonstrate the various aspects of the package. A button here shows you the average credits taken by students. You can move to a different year. You will notice that for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm using year 2016. And you can also visit the website and download the latest updates. Well, that's a very brief overview of our Gateway package. For more information, you can visit our website, www.worsfoldsoftware.co.nz, for prices and availability. Any help and assistance is provided using TeamViewer, which enables me to come onto your machine and make any minor adjustments that might be necessary. I can also do on-site training and offer other assistance by that way. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any further questions.